Indulge in delicious dark chocolate truffles from Cocotopia. At only 40 calories with less fat and sugar than the other guys, it's the perfect treat to enjoy after a long day. Visit www.cocotopia.com and enter promo code BLAME at checkout to get 50% off your first order. Make sure you type the code in all caps. That's COCOTOPIA.com and enter promo code BLAME at checkout. Indulge without the guilt. Own iconic luxury items at unreal values with The RealReal, the leading reseller of authenticated luxury from top designers at up to 90% off retail. Every item is authenticated by The RealReal's team of experts, and new arrivals come in daily. New customers receive an automatic $25 off at checkout. Shop in-store, online, or download the app and get 20% off select items with the promo code REAL. TheRealReal.com, promo code REAL. Okay, guys, welcome back to a new episode of Don't Blame Me. We have teen heartthrob Leo Howard here.
Damn straight.
I'm so happy you're here. We haven't hung out in forever.
I love doing this as always, and it's an excuse to see you.
Yeah,
I don't get to see you enough.
I'm so excited, and we're recording late in the day too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that.
We accommodated your schedule.
You're welcome.
Very much appreciate it.
Because
I was working so much on a Saturday morning.
But we love having you on.
We do.
And so do the fans. Like, your episodes are top rated.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, they love
I've been
it.
told, actually, one of the most offensive things I read about the first podcast, they were like, Leo should stick to being on camera because he does not have a good voice for a podcast. And I was like, it got in my head. And I was like, how can I change my voice? And I was like, fuck that. I'm not changing my voice.
No, you should, if you ever want to feel better about your podcast voice, you should read the comments of when Mats was on the podcast for the first time.
Oh, no.
Holy fucking
What did they say?
Shit. Homeboy. People couldn't even get through the episode because Homeboy and his fucking breathing. First of all, it's like a whistle breathing, and it's like it just sounds like a blustery night in the entire episode. Like there's just like the only noise is a fucking wind, like and then when he came back, I forgot about it, but when he came back, he was like, I am not going to breathe into the mic like that again.
And he was conscious of it,
and
no one said anything about it this time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There is something to people that just have a pleasant voice to listen to. Maddie was listening to this girl on YouTube who has an Irish accent. She does makeup tutorials, and every time she listens to this person, she falls asleep. She looked up. There's a real thing. Certain people's voices soothe you to sleep. I guess that's as ASMR.
Yeah,
same kind of thing. Have you seen Cardi B's ASMR?
Yes.
Shut up. Wait, does she really?
Yeah.
Where does she do it?
Fantastic.
I think she put it on YouTube.
Wait,
I just saw a video
great.
on it. And I was, this is brilliant.
I love that. I'd be into that kind of ASMR. The other kind just makes me feel like, I don't know, like gross and not good.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like cilantro, right?
Yeah. Some people get the tingles and some people don't.
Yeah. It's like stirring Kraft macaroni and cheese, and I don't need to say anymore. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Do it.
Oh, yeah. It's
girl.
like ASMR.
And Amanda has to take her headphones off. Amanda got headphones and now she has to take them off.
I love it.
Well, guys, it's an advice podcast if you're new here. Leo's not even new here. This is your second time on. Third.
I was embarrassed to say that the first time I came on, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, really
I'm
good friend.
awful, not a good friend.
So if you guys want to call in for an upcoming episode, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. And for international listeners, you can send us an audio file at meganpodcast@gmail.com. Okay, should we go?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, Megan. I am 23 years old, and I am married for 3 years now. So I got married at 20. My husband and I have been together for 9 years, married 3, on and off. And I recently, within the past couple months, have been in a situation where he has said that me working out and not being fit, it has put a toll on our marriage. And there was other things too that were said that weren't very nice, but that's the gist of it. And he's not willing to let the fact that I'm not into fitness or anything go. Now, we tried doing fitness together, and I got into it, and I enjoyed going with him because we had something to do together. And he pretty much was like showing me for like a week, and then after that week was over, he was like shooing me away and pretty much saying, oh, well, I think you would do better if you did this, or the same thing around those lines. But, and it really discouraged me. So now it's to the point where I don't really want to work out by myself, and I don't really enjoy working out, but I enjoyed working out with him and having something to do with him. So I just need advice, and I need to know if, because ultimately this is like coming down to marriage ending. And it sounds stupid, but I only have 3 minutes, and I can't explain everything that has gone on, but there has been trauma in the past from him talking about my weight when we were together before we got married. And it plays a lot into why I feel about this now. But I just need advice, and I need opinions, because it sounds stupid for my marriage to be ending over some stupid thing that could happen in the future of me gaining weight, if that makes sense. I don't even know if I'm making sense, but thank you.
She sounds very sweet.
She does sound really sweet.
I really like her.
I don't like him.
I really like her. I don't want to say I don't like him, because I don't know him, but I don't like some of the things that were said that he is doing.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's fair that it's his decision over her decision to want to work out, because that's a very personal thing. And that's a decision that you have to make yourself. If it's not something that you want to do, that's your spouse's responsibility to support that, is my opinion.
Yeah. And I think if he had, to me, this sounds a lot more about weight, and it doesn't sound about like health. So there's something that like to be said about like, Mats doesn't really work out. Like, he comes to the gym with me occasionally. He went to the gym with me today, and we had a conversation about, he had said, he was like, I really love how much you work out. Like, I love like that it makes like really helps with your anxiety. And like, I really like love that you have this thing that you really enjoy, have like discovered that you've enjoyed doing later in like your adult life. I think it's great to have like a passion that you find later in life, and like you're prioritizing taking care of your health. And I was like, thank you. I like you, like, that's so nice of you to say those things, but like, you know, you could totally like do that too. And I had said that about like, I was like, I don't think it's about like weight or anything. And this was like what I said to him. I was like, I think like there is something like, just you're saying, it's something attractive that I take care of myself like this. Like, I think it's attractive when people take care of their bodies. And even if it's just like walking and doing stuff like that. And we had a conversation about that aspect of it, but it was just about health. It wasn't one of us, me being like, oh, I wish you worked out more with me, because I don't even really like working out with him. But it was more about the sense of like, you like this thing about me. Like, why, if you're interested in me doing this, like, why do you not like do it want to do it yourself in that aspect? But he's your husband in this, like, this, I think it's like, I would be offended immediately, like from this conversation point blank. But you're saying that he's made comments before and about your weight, and that's like so fucked up. Then like that to me, I'm like, this isn't a one-time thing. He's said this repeatedly, and it just sounds like someone who's not, I don't know, like I don't want to like be like, I'm not your doctor with anyone's health, but I also think like in general, doctors are incredibly fat phobic. Like there's like it's insane. And like the idea that people think like you need to be a certain weight to be healthy. Like there are like so many inconclusive studies also about like weight being tied to health problems later on. Like there are some things that correlate to it, but like most of those studies are inconclusive. And I think like your boyfriend coming at this from like clearly superficial, like shaming your weight kind of way, like that's not how you talk to somebody that you love, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of things to this that obviously we're not hearing. Like she said, you know, you have 3 minutes to give an entire story or an entire relationship problem. But it sounds like there's two types. There's, like you were saying, there's the way to come about this, like, hey, I want you to lose weight for your health. You are unhealthy, which is not what it sounds like. It sounds like a very immature approach to a relationship problem. It sounds very immature of your husband to say, well, you need to go work out in order for you to be good enough, which is a really, really dangerous thing to start telling people. When you put someone in a position to manipulate how they feel about themselves, whether he means to or not, that's what that does. And it puts her in a position to now she doesn't feel good unless he gives her approval, and he's only going to give her and it's a very dangerous cycle that goes down and down and down. It's dangerous getting your feeling about yourself from someone else. And it sounds like that's what that situation is doing, which is really scary for future peace in the relationship. Yeah. But I'm a massive proponent for working out, not necessarily just for health physically. The reason I work out is a lot of it, but most of it's mental.
Yeah, me too.
It gives me something that even on days where I don't feel like I accomplish anything, I'm not further towards any of my goals, it puts my mind to sleep, and it totally makes my mind focused. It makes me feel proud of something, and I feel like a sense of accomplishment, and I'm much happier. It is a literal thing. As soon as I leave the gym, I am so much happier. So I'm a big proponent for that. But at the same time, this sounds like a manipulative discussion.
And I also think like the manipulation of this has prevented you from, I don't know if you're going to be able to, in this relationship, work out and get those feelings from it, because it is being pushed by him for a looks reason. Like, it's not about you wanting to go because you're interested in it. Your interest is tied to the fact that he's interested in it for you. So at that point, exactly like you're saying, like, your worth and how you feel about yourself is tied to what somebody else is telling you what they think of you. And I don't know if you would even if you started like going to the gym, I don't know if like you would feel that like sense of like self-accomplishment because you're doing it for him. And I think like the way you brought it up, it didn't necessarily say that like he was going to divorce you if you didn't start working out. It sounded like you were going to be kind of done. And I think if that's where your mind is at and you're already being like, there's a history of all of this other stuff, like if this is making you think about your marriage ending, I think you need to be really serious about how you feel, because I think like if that's not a conversation that he has said, like being like, first of all, if he said like, if you don't get your shit, if you don't start going exercising, like I want to divorce you, like you should divorce him. Like that's a fucked up thing to say. Yeah. And I think like, but even if he hasn't brought it up and your mind is going there, I think you need to stick with your gut, because I think you're realizing the fact that like he doesn't make you feel great about yourself. And like, what the fuck why would you want to be with like relationships aren't perfect at all, but the person you are with, like there might be times where like they say or do something that makes you feel shitty. It's maybe sometimes it's intentional. Most of the time it's probably not intentional. But if you're with someone who has a habit of making you feel not enough, and it's not something that's like getting better and not something that they're like working on in therapy or figuring out what like the root cause of that is, I don't think we should be with anyone that we want to change at all. And I think that's settling for him when there's going to be like plenty of other people that aren't going to love you like under the condition that like you start going to the gym. And he also doesn't even want to work. Like this makes no sense, because like he doesn't want to work out with you, but he wants you to go to the gym. Like,
well, I was just gonna say there's a weird thing with that too, where I don't want to work out with my girlfriend, but I want her to work out. Yeah, but she does work out, but like, I don't want to work out with anyone.
Yeah, I don't want to work out. I
don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to have anyone I know working out with me. I want everyone to fuck off, and I want to do my workout, right? It's my time. It's me time. But at the same time, so I had this conversation with Maddie the other day. She wanted to start working out. She's like, "Can you show me?" I was like, "Absolutely." But here's the deal. It's going to be a weird thing. You're not going to you're going to argue with me, and then don't. I said, do whatever you feel like you should do or want to do it. Yeah. She found this app, and she hikes. She goes on a hike every day with the dog, and she does this workout app, and she does it every day, and she's done great at it. And I was like, this is fantastic.
And you like it because she likes it,
and I like it because we all know how good we feel after, and you get that even when you have nothing, you have nothing in the day.
You can see that in your partner. You can see that in her, that you're like, oh wow, you're in such a good mood.
My other thing about this is, number one, what it sounds like is very manipulative what he's doing, first of all.
He's
and
not
I don't like that. I don't like that. But number two, encouraging someone to work out is much better than a lot of the other issues I've heard of, like encouraging them to do drugs with you or encourage it. Like of all the issues or of all the things to have an argument about, if it were coming from, I want you to be healthy, that's great. It doesn't sound like that is though.
And I think also like the idea is like there is no like rule book of what like healthy is. Like there are people who are like, if you like go like standard stereotypical overweight, who are significantly healthier, have like fine cardiovascular health than people who exercise every day. Like there is not there is no like you can't look at somebody and how they look in their weight and know if they're healthy or unhealthy. Like it completely depends person to person. And I think if the argument, and like I've had this conversation with Mats before in the sense that I'm like, I think you would really enjoy working out. And I was like, and it's not about like how you look at all, but like the endorphins for me because he's got anxiety. And I was like, as somebody who has anxiety, I was like, I can't even tell you how fucking great it is. It's like an hour of Xanax. And then for the rest of the day, I'm like coasting on a high. And so like that aspect of it, I think is great. But I'm also just not here for anyone wanting you to do something that you don't like doing. And if you don't want to do something and it doesn't like make you happy or do anything like that, like you can't, like I've had friends try to get me to working out and until I wanted to do it, I didn't do it. Like I didn't get into it because I didn't feel like I was like, I wasn't somebody else's intention. It was like doing it for me. But anyone who's like wanting you to do something that you don't want to do, and it can like, you can be happy forcing someone to do something that they don't want to do. And you know that they're not enjoying it. And you're like, no, I am happy that you are doing this, even though you are unhappy. That's such a selfish, manipulative thing because you're getting pleasure out of something that you're watching your loved one not enjoy. And I think like if it was about the sense of like, if it was coming from the aspect of like, I think it would really like endorphins, like help and all of that stuff. But if you had that conversation once, it's not his job to like pressure you to do anything like that. And also it's, even if he's not, I think he's coming at it from the place of, because you keep saying he's coming at it from the place of weight, but like, even if he wasn't, like they're like media has taught women to be like so self-conscious of their bodies that like read the fucking room, dude. Like even if you have good intentions, like read the room.
Hi, Megan. I'm 24 years old. I'm a recent college graduate. Had to move back home to save money and look for work. I'm actually in a 2-year relationship, and this is where I need your advice at. Like I said, we've been together for 2 years, my boyfriend and I, and we live apart. We're 2 states away, and he actually lived with me and my parents for probably 3 months this past summer. So it's definitely been hard. So the pressure is kind of on me to make a decision. You know, do I want to move to where he's at? And if I can stay with my parents for as long as I can to save money, I'm looking for a job. He's in Chicago. And then I'm in Detroit. So it's definitely not a commute we like doing a lot. So it's around like six and a half hours for both of us to drive there and back. So it's definitely taken a toll on our relationship the last 7 months. And now all the pressure's on me on my side because he just got a full-time job in Chicago area. So I need your help because everyone I ask, they're like, oh, do it, you're young. And, I don't know. You know, whatever. I guarantee you. Like, we trust him, we trust you, and you're very, you know, I'd like to say make good decisions in my life, but this is one where I'm really struggling with because if I move there, I pick up my whole life and I live with his parents for a little bit. We get a house. And I don't know if I'm 100% ready to make this commitment without a ring on my finger. We were friends for 1.5 years before we even started dating. So we were kind of like in the same friend group. And we started off as friends. And I think, you know, yes, we could make it, but I don't want to go there, something happen, and then I have to pick up my life and move back to Detroit. I think that's one of my biggest fears. And like, no one understands my fears whatsoever. Even my best friends are like, just do it, like, you know, you'll be fine. But in the back of my mind, I'm freaking out and I don't know what to do. So if you could help me, that would be amazing. Some advice would be perfect. And I love listening to your podcast, listen to them every single week.
So what are your thoughts?
It needs to percolate a second.
Okay.
That's how I work. That just,
I'm going
to percolate.
Okay. I'll take it away while you percolate. That's a good word. I should start using that more. Here's what I will say. I am in the same camp as I like see your point of view, and I also see your friend's point of view. As somebody, like we've said this before, like regionally people don't get married young in LA, and also where I grew up in general, like none of my friends who are in their 20s are married, none of that. So there's that like more non-traditional, I guess, part of me that is like move 100%, go like do that. You don't need a ring, anything like that. But I understand like your fear, but I think like a ring, a marriage, an engagement, or anything like that, that's really shouldn't change your relationship so much that you're afraid, like security wise. Like you should be secure in your relationship. A piece of metal and a fucking gemstone and a contract. Like if someone's gonna fuck someone else over, it's gonna happen. Yeah. And I think like even if it's like that peace of mind here. Okay, let me just say this sounds a really fucked up worst case scenario thing. But let's say like you wait till you get a ring, you move, you're there for a year, he cheats on you and you're like, oh my fucking God. But if you go and you don't have this like built in, you have like a bit like him, you get a house together, you live together, like it's your boyfriend, like you have that built in, but you're not moving for your husband. So you even if it's in the back of your mind, and even though I don't think you should be insecure about your relationship at all, I think there'll be a part of you that it's like, I really need to make roots here that are my own too. I need to have my friend group. I need to have like a job, like all of the other things where you make a life for yourself there as well. And it's not just I'm moving to be a wife. I think like it's a great opportunity. I think I know people who have moved to new cities for relationships and have broken up and like they've stayed in that city and they have made it work and they have really enjoyed it. I just think like you can never be sure and 100% secure in anything at all, at life at all. You never know what's going to happen. But I think waiting for like a moment. You know,
I think my point on this is everything about this feels right, that you're pondering this move and all these, but what feels wrong to me is the idea that commitment would make it better for you to move. That's just not how I think. I totally agree with you in that sense, where the relationship is the relationship. That's just the cherry on top. We need to have the foundation aside from, you know, that ring or that commitment. Like we should have a commitment. I mean, to me, boyfriend and girlfriend, it shouldn't be that big of a difference.
Yeah.
Between husband and wife. Like, you know, I know every relationship's different, but that's the way I treat it. Right.
Yeah.
On the other hand, aside from that, there's a lot more opportunities in general in Chicago than a place like Detroit. So another thing is for you going to school, having graduated, is there more of an opportunity for you to get work or push yourself instead of thinking purely the future of the relationship? Let's think about you too. And where is your career going to be best suited? Where are you going to feel like you're going to have the best course of action career-wise? And also you're moving away from your family, and it sounds like that would be the first thing. So that's something else to factor in. I mean, how old are your folks? These are all, it's a huge decision. And I am a little bit old-fashioned in the way that I would struggle to move far away from my parents because I'm really close with my folks. And as great as a lot of places are, I mean, Southern California is great. I have nothing to complain about, but I don't want to be far from my parents.
I don't want to move far away from your parents either.
Yeah,
I love your
exactly.
parents.
They're amazing.
They are.
Yeah, they're great.
So and I think it makes sense. I think you need to like figure out, just like you're saying, I think you need to figure out, is the only thing in Chicago him? Right. Or are there other things that you want? Like, would you be leaving everything? Like, did you picture your life? Do you want to be in Detroit? Is that where you want to spend the rest? Is that where you want to raise kids? Is that where is that where you want to put roots?
And is that where you're at in your life, that you're ready to pick a place to build roots? Yeah,
exactly. And I don't think like moving to a place for a relationship, like yes, long distance relationships are like incredibly hard, but you have to figure out what you want for your own life, and a relationship isn't your entire life. And like Mats and I have said that before, if it's like, if I get a job somewhere that's like far away, that like if I'm shooting 9 months out of the year in Canada or something like that, or he gets a job somewhere else, like we've had that conversation of being like, okay, we would take it like a year at a time, but nobody's job takes priority over the other person's job in that aspect of being like, we're not going to like get up and leave and one person's going to have like nothing to do because the other one's doing this. Like both of your career, even if you don't want necessarily to be working, if you want to be a mom, which is also like a fucking full-time job, or even if you don't want to be a mom and you want to be like,
your decision is the thing.
Exactly. And it needs to be what you want to do. And it can't just be fully reliant on him, regardless if there's a ring or not. Because even if there's a ring and you're moving to a city that you don't want to live in, that you don't have, like, that you don't want to be in, that ring's not going to make you happy.
Yeah. It's like right now, her life is in a lot of transition. She just finished college. She's looking for a job. It's like, figure out those other things. If you if you find a job in another state, not even Illinois or in Detroit where you are, would you expect him to move for you? It's just like, figure out your own things first.
I was actually pretty much in this situation with Maddie. I was out here and my girlfriend is from England and she was out there. We matched on a dating app.
Yeah, you did.
And I had no intention of really anything serious with anyone on the app. And we started talking. We talked for like 3 months. You were there the whole time. Remember?
That's all the messages.
Legitimately, we talked for 3 months, and it got to the point where it was like, well, there's no total. I'm not comparing this in the same sense to your situation, moving and all that, but in the same sense, there was no future in it. And you know, she came out and visited. I went out and visited out there. She had an opportunity to come work out here, so I was very lucky, and we were both very lucky that our relationship just seemed to work in the fact that she was able to get work out here. So it all made sense. It would not have happened if she was not able to get work out here. And so I think that's really important because one, if she moved out here for just me, it would have failed already for sure.
Yeah.
But the fact that she moved out here to push her life in a direction that was definitely better for her, it just worked.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. If you're going to go out to Chicago and there's no opportunity, Chicago, if you're going to go out to Chicago, eat some deep dish pizza, and you don't really have a promising sort of set of goals that are going to be achievable in Chicago, it's just going to put so much more pressure on your relationship as well.
Exactly.
So weigh in all those things. And if you do go to Chicago, get Giordano's Pizza.
But also, maybe you guys have lived together for 3 months with your parents. You also don't know what it's like to live together.
What's
no, that's the thing
there?
People do.
Is it?
Yeah. It is.
My parents would not. They would beat the piss out of me if I even asked my fucking father if I could move some girl into his. Oh my god!
I would enjoy watching that conversation.
Yeah, not throwing judgment. I'm just saying my dad would not have it. And my dad would make some point. Oh, you. The $4,500 rent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
Can you clean my shoes, boy? All right.
Literally. But yeah, no, and I think, you just living together with like your parents and like for a small period of time, it's also not the same as living together. Like I think relationships, long distance relationships, I've never done. I say this from place like I've never really done a long distance relationship, but like
it sucks.
Yeah, but I think also there's a part of it. Oh, you have
Maddie,
done too.
My very first girlfriend lived in Florida.
I remember that. Yeah.
Well, I like to just live dangerously.
No, but it does make sense for your personality, though.
I don't know.
It does.
You
get
what
bored easily, so that when you have to talk to a girl for a couple months, then you realize you have feelings.
I've never quite figured it out.
I've had a couple long distance relationships.
You know what? My mom actually said it right, and she goes, "When you don't cloud your brain with all the physical, all the sexual
that's exactly
tension,
what I'm saying. Just
you're
in a more
able
PG way.
No, yeah, you're totally right. You're able to actually build a relationship.
If you can't sleep with them immediately, then you're gonna like them more.
Totally.
That's me too.
And it's something that if I were ever single again in the future, it would be something that would it's totally changed the way I looked at things.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm not. But do you know what I mean? Like
no, you're right. Yeah. I just think you also want to spend time together. Like I know a lot of my friends who did long distance relationships, when they finally like both were in the same city, if it was like after college or something like that, it was kind of like, oh, our relationship isn't like what they thought it was. Like some people just work better long distance. So I don't think you should make any commitments to like, I mean, we're even saying that we don't think marriage in that sense is going to be like something that's like very comforting. Like in like, it's not going to mean that much, something that's like so different, but I don't want you to like make any decisions like that until, I don't know, like until you guys have like actually lived together and done all of that. Cause like maybe you hate living with him. Yeah. Maybe he's the worst person ever to live with. And then like you guys grow up and get mature. Too? Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think it's also fun to enjoy new aspects of it, but I think you'll be fine. Hopefully. Maybe. A little bit.
I always wonder if they listen and they're like, what the fuck are these people saying?
What are they doing?
She's not even addressing what I just told her.
I mean, sometimes we focus on like stuff that's not as, and then people like
sometimes you're halfway through and you're like, oh, we haven't talked about this. Let me give advice now.
Should we go on to the next?
Mm-hmm. Hi, Megan and Melissa and guest. So I have kind of an issue with the ex-girlfriend of my boyfriend. So it's been an issue for a couple of months now. She's been low-key stalking us. So she started messaging him and he blocked her on many different social media. We even got in an argument when he lied to me about talking to her because he knew it really bothered me that she was constantly messaging him. And it wasn't normal conversation. It was about how she missed him and her boyfriend right now wasn't making her as happy as my boyfriend used to. So it's kind of a tricky situation and I don't really know what to do. But so she so she keeps contacting him after he blocked her number. She got a private number. I don't know how she did that actually, but she got a private number, and I don't know how it is in the US, but here in the Netherlands you cannot block a private number. So she keeps calling him constantly and telling him that she misses him and that her boyfriend isn't treating her as well as my boyfriend used to, and I don't know, a lot of things that a girlfriend doesn't want to hear about the ex-relationship of her boyfriend. So it made me really uncomfortable, and my boyfriend was trying to console me and telling his ex-girlfriend that he didn't want to speak to her and that he was happy with me, but his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, okay, shit, doesn't want to give up. So she started calling him, and he got a new number, so she wouldn't know his number anymore. But now she is calling his home number, so his mom and dad's home number, and that's really weird. At least I find it really weird. I would never call my ex-boyfriend's mom and dad to speak to him. So I don't know what to do exactly, because I know the police cannot do anything about it because we cannot press charges, because it's not actually stalking, because she's not physically here, but she keeps bothering us, and it's really making me upset because my boyfriend doesn't really react the way I want him to react. And I don't know if that's just me, but sometimes when I tell him give me the phone, I will talk to her and just tell her basically fuck off. But he's like, no, don't do that. I don't want to hurt her feelings. And he's a good guy, but for me it's just okay, it's now, and you should just say get the fuck out of my life and leave me alone. And that's a clear message, because the times he has said it is oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to speak to you again, please leave me alone. But I don't know if he's being too nice and she doesn't really get the hint. So please help me. I don't really know what to do. Thanks. I love your podcast. By the way, sorry for my accent. I'm Dutch. I don't know if I mentioned that. Okay, bye.
Wow. I want to applaud your strength, because would I have curb stomped this bitch months ago? Oh, fuck yes. I would have showed up at her door. I would have lost my goddamn mind.
Yeah, I feel as if that's appropriate as well.
Yeah, right?
Totally.
You would have.
My thing about this is, it to me sounds like you have a boyfriend that's too nice. Mm-hmm. It sounds like he's trying to make everybody happy, which in a situation like this, somebody is going to walk away upset. And I'm going to repeat exactly what I said, which is sometimes you got to hike your nuts up and spit in somebody's face.
Yeah.
That's exactly what sounds like needs to happen. You can't be nice. Certain people just need to understand that there are boundaries and you can't cross them, and there are consequences if you cross them, like slashing tires and, bitch slapping as soon as they open the door.
Curb
I'm not
stomping.
saying do that, but I'm saying that I have seen that done on
happened.
people.
Mm-hmm.
Molotov cocktails.
Yeah. Oh,
and,
my middle school. A kid almost blew up our school. It's one of those.
Wow.
Here's what, and you said something when the call was happening, was that he's definitely not shutting her down.
Totally. Yeah. And from what she's saying, he'll shut her down, but then he'll be nice to her because he I don't know. It doesn't sound like there's malicious intent from him. It doesn't sound like he's interested in her again. To me, it doesn't sound like that. It just sounds like he's a nice guy and he's trying to be nice, which I have suffered from, and I have very over the last couple of years realized that it is fantastically okay to have someone not like you.
Yep.
And I've actually come to enjoy it sometimes.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it feels validated, in the sense that these two, you as the girlfriend, I'm going to speak as if I'm speaking to him. These two women in your life served not the exact same purpose, but they are the same relationship. So you cannot have both being happy, because you can only have one girlfriend unless you're trying to do polygamy, which it doesn't sound like you're trying to do. So the idea that you would have an ex-girlfriend who clearly wants to get back with you, happy with you, the only way to make her happy is to get back together with her. But you already have a girlfriend that you're happy with. There is a line that drawing of being nice to exes and friendly and all of that it is just, it's not fair for your new partner to be put in the girl you calling. Like it's clearly not fair. And his idea, it is this nice guy syndrome where it's like, I can't have someone not be happy with me. And I've said this before. It's like, I'm like, okay, well, if you want to be like the nice guy, just know, like, and I have friends who also do this, like female friends. I'm like, know that like I will be mad. Like you're like, I want everyone to like, I don't want it to piss off anybody. I'm like, if you don't figure this out, I will be the one who's pissed off. So like the person that you should try and prevent hurting is the person you're in a relationship with. You have broken up with this girl. You guys are not together anymore. Like, that's what he should be doing. But I think on your end, you need to have a conversation with your boyfriend, because I think that's what he's suffering from, is like he needs everybody to like him, when in reality, if you break up with somebody, they're not going to like you. Or if someone is not happy in their relationship, like the only way that he is going to achieve her being happy is at the expense of you. So he's not going to get what he wants, which is to piss nobody off. Like he's going to piss off somebody. So does he want that to be you or her? Like,
I said before, I had to learn this, and it was misconstrued with girls that I've been with in the past, that I was trying to keep my options open by being nice to people.
You don't like when people are mad at you.
Exactly. I didn't want people to have a sour taste in their mouth about something that happened, or just, I didn't want people to not like me.
Yeah.
And I had to get okay with people not liking me. And it was a big step for me. It's happened in the last couple of years, and it was a really nice moment where it was literally a switch, and I went, "Wow, it's okay if someone doesn't like you. It's totally fine.
Nothing's gonna change." And also, when you realize that certain aspects, like there are only certain things that people, they conditionally want something from you, and if you're like, I can't give that to you, it's like, well, then I don't like you. Then it's like, well, I can't like you. Yeah. Then it's like, well, you know what? Then you don't actually really. You're caring so much more about other people and their feelings than they're caring about you, because it's like, unless you can do this, then I'm pissed. But it's like, that's not what anyone else is asking from the situation. I think what you should do, I think you should have a conversation, sit down, have a conversation with you, your boyfriend, and his parents.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think you need to have this because I think like.
Wait, your boyfriend and his parents?
His parents, so she's calling the house phone.
Got it.
And I think you need to all get on the same page, because I think like there is, whether your boyfriend is downplaying it to his parents and it's like, oh, or they're not thinking it's weird, or maybe they're thinking it's incredibly weird, but he's downplaying it. So then they're not wanting to pressure and be like, oh, you really should change our number. When they see that you are also incredibly upset about this, as you should be, you guys need to have a plan of action. And being like, okay, so we're going to change the home phone number. Yes, this sucks. All of blah, 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 all of these different things. Do that. And then he needs to not engage and respond at all. Like at all.
Yeah.
And that's what the issue is. It's like
any kind of response. Even aggressively rude responses.
Or being like, I'm not going to answer this. Right. Why don't you just fucking answer it? So people like that, they're not.
Or even even being rude to the person.
It doesn't matter. They get blinders on and they just see, I got the notification. They responded. They care. And it's complete blinders that they don't. Does not matter what the fuck you say to people like that.
Engaging.
It all means the same thing. It could be like, I love you. It's the exact same thing as stop talking to me.
I hate you. Don't talk to me anymore. Exactly. Is engaging. It means you care enough to write back.
Yeah. And that's like a sliver of hope that she's holding on to.
She can't do it forever. She's not that crazy.
She sounds mentally unstable.
She does.
And maybe he knows that, and he's trying not
be nice, not put her over the edge.
But that's just enabling her.
I was going to say,
you can't be
an enabler. You got to let people hit rock bottom.
And I think you guys need to all be on the same page, because it also helps. You guys will all hold each other accountable for it, and then you also sit down and talk about what the next plan of action is. If she keeps calling again, fucking go to your local police precinct and be like, we can't get a restraining order because she's not technically stalking us, but let us know what our legal rights are and what we should, or even what we should do in this situation. Like
next time she shows up at the door, you take your clogs off your feet and you smack her right in the forehead.
Hey, don't speak about my people like that. I also have clogs and they're very large.
Are they comfortable?
No, the ones I have are wooden.
They're just wood.
They're wood. I mean, people don't really wear them.
But you haven't got the Dr. Scholl's insoles for clogs. Those are the shit.
It's essentially just Crocs. Like that's what they end up being.
I think we appropriately answered that one, and think we all agreed on exactly what the course of action should be.
Yeah. And I'm not saying threaten her and show up at her house at all.
I am by no means encouraging.
Stomp her.
Don't curb stomp her.
By no means encouraging violence at all, because number one, that would not also solve the situation.
No, that would actually make it worse, and it would come back on you instead of her.
You got to shut it down.
Yeah, got to shut it down. And also, your boyfriend needs to learn this lesson. And I think like if he's got his parents there who are like, you know, adults also being like, this is not normal, this is not okay, he needs to figure that shit out, because it's also it's not fair to you in a relationship.
Plot twist. They like her and they want him back.
Don't
with
fucking
her.
say I will be
That was
so-
my other thought, is they
There's
actually
no
like
way.
her better than they like
No.
the current girlfriend.
Honey, Jamie just called. It's great. You should talk to
My
her.
God. Also, hey, worst case scenario, send all this shit to her boyfriend.
Nah, they're Dutch. If you had a Jewish mother, I'd be like, yeah, you got to watch out for that. But she's not Jewish, so you're fine.
No, but I'm saying send it
I'm
to her
saying that
boyfriend.
because I have a
Do you know
Jewish
what I mean?
mother. That's why I can say that. What?
But like, she's a boyfriend, the girl who his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I got you. It's all.
So she says.
Oh,
Ooh, the
true.
plot thickens.
Oh, yeah.
She might not even exist. It's like Fight Club.
It's just him sending messages to himself.
He's just like
sending it to
feeling really,
himself
he just
and
wants his
talking
girlfriend
about
to get jealous, and he's like, it's gone way too far, and he's like, shit, I don't know how to take this back.
Dude, babe, I just saw her outside. I told her to fuck off.
I'm in over my head. Can you imagine having to like
Oh
freak
my
it? Like, I
gosh.
did this. I'm sorry. I just thought it was gonna be funny. I would be so mad when you keep the bit going on for too long.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're going to a quick break, and we will be back. Long day at work? Tough day at school? Still stuck at the office? Or did you just like lay in bed all day and you're really tired and you don't want to cook your own food? That last one was really personally just for me. Treat yourself to the meal you deserve on demand from your favorite restaurant with DoorDash. DoorDash connects you with all of your favorite restaurants in your city. Just use the DoorDash app to choose what you want to eat, and your Dasher will bring it to you wherever you are. With over 310,000 other amazing restaurants in over 3,300 cities, wow, reading numbers is hard, across the US and Canada, DoorDash lets you order from your local go-tos as well as your favorite chains like Chipotle, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, and the Cheesecake Factory. Let the dinner come to you with DoorDash. Right now, guys, you can get $5 off your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter promo code BLAME. That's $5 off your first order when you download the DoorDash app from the App Store and enter promo code BLAME. Again, guys, that is promo code BLAME for $5 off your first order from DoorDash.
Hi, guys. This is Melissa. This is me being very chipper because I love you. And I really, really appreciate everyone that calls in with their questions to get advice. But we've had a few constructive criticisms about the clarity of the call. Thank you, girl. You know who you are. So, and it got a lot of thumbs up, so I figured we should address it. So if you guys, when you make your calls, I know a lot of people do it in cars and we can hear your turn signal going, but I think the best way to have the clearest voicemail is if you leave it, if you're going to be in your car, be parked, so that we don't get any of the engine noise. And I'm sure, and it's safer. And I'm sure like a lot of you are doing it for privacy, but if you can do it in your home over a Wi-Fi connection, that'll give us the best quality when you call in.
I was going to say also, guys, this is something I learned from ADR, which is like when you go over and dub movies, when you don't enunciate your words like me. And a great place to do it, again, if you're concerned about privacy, go in your closet and shut yourself in your closet. It's great. We're going to be able to hear you super well. And if you don't know when to hear you, do it like that.
Thank you, guys. Back to the episode.
Okay, guys, we're back from our break and we're going to go into the rest of the couch. That was how Mott's breathes. That little, like,
that's what I was
whistle
going to
tone.
say.
That's exactly
It's like
how
the
Mott's
character on
breathes.
was it The Simpsons? I don't know.
Grandpa.
Hey, Megan and the Don't Blame Me podcast. I am 24 years old. I'm calling about a predicament with my father. Long story semi-short. My dad met this lady online from Canada, super quick, married her, super duper quick, like never knew he was dating her. Then all of a sudden he was married. And yeah, they live in Kansas. And so this lady started ruining my dad's life. She stole his identity. She did drugs. She cheated on him. She was overall a terrible person. I ended up not talking to my dad for about 2 years because of it. She died a couple of years back a year and a half ago, and I ended up talking to my dad again, and we're on good terms now. And for Christmas, I bought him a voucher to come and visit me in California. And he hasn't picked a day or a time because I don't know. And I'm very nervous about seeing my father again. Do you guys have any tips on how to deal with that? I don't really know what to do because my stepmom was a mega bitch. Anyone that steals their spouse's identity is obviously trash. Any advice? Anything? Help. Thanks. Bye.
Wow.
First of all, not everyone who steals people's identity is trash.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
on.
Just kidding.
I also want to know your sign really bad because like I felt fire.
Yeah.
I felt some
I
fire.
like her.
Some people
I
have
like her a lot.
messaged and told us what their signs were.
I need to go back
through
and
it.
I like her a lot.
I like her too.
I like her casual, sarcastic sense of humor regarding a very tragic situation.
Yeah, and like,
because I can relate. I love it.
It's probably one of the quickest calls we've had with the most information and like the most dramatic.
Take note, guys.
Yeah,
this is how you do a call.
Then she died.
And she has a sense of humor. I mean, it's just like, well, this happened, and then he ran off with this person.
That's me in my therapy session. I'm like, well, then this happened.
She
then
died.
This, and then this.
Like, oh, God.
Wow. Okay.
Well, props to you. Sounds like you've been through a hell of a lot. And that's not an easy situation. My God. I mean, how can you possibly comment on something that's so obscure and difficult to deal with? But of course you're nervous to see your father. I would be too. I would be feeling all of those feelings. I would feel excited and I'd feel scared and I'd feel probably a little bit angry. And I'm sure that there's some resentment there still for the decision that he's made. But my advice with parents is it echoes my own experience because I care very deeply about my parents and I've been very lucky with my parents. And I also understand that other people have not sometimes. But you do only have one set of parents. And so my goal with that is to always encourage people to, hey, do your best to make it as good as you can make it, as good as they will allow you to, and try not to hold anything past that because there probably will be a day where you go, you know what? I wish I would have said that. Instead of saying, hey, you know what? Now that they're gone, I wish I would have said that. How about you say, yep, I said it and it didn't work out. I would rather that be the outcome of, hey, I said what I wanted to say. They didn't echo those feelings back. It is what it is. And I guarantee you'll feel a lot better with that situation rather than I should have said that.
Yeah, I'm very much in agreement with that. I think like there are, I mean, we've talked about this and it's like just very typical of the idea of like when you get older and you realize that your parents are human and like they make mistakes and they do stupid shit. And as you become an adult and you really like you foster your life and you not necessarily you get to like your pick of jobs, but like you have a career path that you have chosen, like you have friends that you have chosen, like you have all of these things that you've elected to have in your life that you've sought out that like you have basically handpicked, and your parents are the only thing that you haven't handpicked. And so as you get older, there might be like it's the same kind of reason when you have like childhood friends and then you get older and you're like, we don't have that much in common. Like
I don't know about you, I handpicked my little penis. Definitely didn't handpick that.
No, but like so there are certain things with your parents that like there are things that like you might not align beliefs on. Stop laughing, let me speak. But do you know what I mean?
I just love that I got Melissa laughing.
Yeah, she lost it. But like you can't pick everything. And so there are sometimes it's like the same thing with like your parents don't have the same belief system as you. I don't think that it's your responsibility and your job to cater to everybody else's comfort level when it comes to just life. I mean, in like, let's like not sexually assault people. Like, let's like talk about that comfort. But I just mean like in everybody else, I don't think you should need to like dull down your personality or your beliefs or anything else to appease people who aren't doing the same for you. And that being said, I think, yes, you're going to be incredibly nervous to see him. I think you need, this sounds fucked up. I think you just keep your expectations low. That's been the greatest thing that I've done in like adult life.
In everything. You have to manage your
expectations and kind of fluff your encounters with him with things that are going to make you feel better and safe and secure. If you have, if you're in a relationship or you have like a friend that you're like, hey, let's all like, maybe it takes the pressure off of you and being like, hey, like, let's all go to lunch. Let's do this aspect of it. I think having him come into town to like see you, it does put a lot of like pressure on that, and he might also be feeling that pressure. But I think like you're more than welcome to, and you have my permission to lay into him for what he like. The
I guarantee
situation.
he doesn't feel good about his situation either.
Yeah, but I think
hopefully
like,
he understands the gravity of what's happened and where he went
But you
wrong.
have to be a little bit of a fucking idiot to get in that, like, to get
based
deep
on
into
her
that.
personality. I feel like she has told him. I feel like that conversation's been had.
Yeah.
Also, she said she was in California. If you need some company,
100%.
whenever you guys are grabbing dinner, you just want some people to just sit and listen, because I'd love to interview the guy.
We'll just be at the right.
I would love to just chat. You should have him on. Don't blame me and have him give people advice. Can you imagine?
God.
No,
So
how to
here's
not
what
get
you
your
do.
identity stolen.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I think like you just, it sucks to say like you need to manage expectations, because I think you want people to like live up to, especially like as a kid, like if he was a really great dad when you were a kid, you want him to live up to that. And when they make mistakes, I think you need to remember those mistakes and those things and be like, this could happen again. And I think for me, when it comes to family and everything like that, for me personally, not to get too deep into it, because you can read in my book, but the things that were the hardest for me were things when I didn't listen to my I didn't manage my expectations, and I had what I wanted to be true versus what was actually happening and what really was true. And it took like my friends, it took my relationship of people being like, let's like look at like the series of your life and look at these habits and things like that. Like this idea of what you really want, that hasn't happened. And I don't think that one day it's going to wake up and happen. And if that's what if you can't deal with that and that's the only thing that you want, then like walk away from the situation. But at a certain point, like manage your expectations and see this is the history. It's probably going to happen. This is probably what the relationship's going to be. And then just know that that's what's going to be into it, because you're not going to be disappointed by that. That's going to be what you expect out of it.
Yeah.
I think he's just feeling nervous because he knows he got duped.
Yeah.
And he knows that, and like you said, her personality was that she probably told him that he was being an idiot. Yeah. And so he kind of feels stupid, and he's just trying to figure out how to go to the next step.
But yeah, no, and also maybe if you really, I keep like picking all these different stances of you have what you have with him, like I don't, where your relationship stands in that, but like maybe if you're annoyed that he hasn't made the effort to like actually plan the trip, just tell him, be like, hey, I think it was really fucking dumb and you're an idiot, but you're still my dad, and like I'm not gonna go into you too hard for this. So like, let's just fucking come visit. Like that.
Or I can come to you if you don't want to. If you can't come here, I can come to you.
Yeah. Tell him to get off the
Or
dating
just-
sites.
Yeah.
Stay off Craigslist.
Or just
Stay
show
off
up at his
Backpage.
door.
Hi, I just want to start off that I am 26 years old and I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years. We're going on 6 this year, hopefully if all things end well. I am calling because I have a question about threesomes. Me and my boyfriend, we talked about it. We kind of want to spice up our sex lives together, and we both were kind of curious about threesomes. He's never had one. I've never had one. Like, even when I watch porn, I like watching threesomes. Like, I just don't know. I just have this, like, interest in it, but I'm just not 100% committed to it, only because I am scared that's going to change our relationship, and I'm scared that it's going to make it weird, and I like, what if I don't like it? And I'm a jealous person, so I just think I wouldn't even, I think I would be really jealous, but then at the same time I want to try it. So I just wouldn't know, how to go about it. And, we would joke around, like, oh, yeah, like, we'll have one next year, like, for New Year's Eve goals. But we just never go through with it because I'm not 100% serious. And one thing that I could add is my boyfriend doesn't know is I've slept with a girl before, and I've never told him that. And I find girls attractive, but I'm not, like, I don't know, I don't consider myself gay or bi because I would never date a girl. I would hook up with one, and that's probably it, but I've only hooked up with one girl. So I just don't know how I feel about doing it with my boyfriend and just some random girl. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you. Bye.
She should have a conversation with the girl that called a couple weeks ago.
True, who sent me a DM and she didn't have a private profile, and I just got to stalk her and figured out who she had a threesome with. I love it when you guys send me really explicit DMs and you're like, this was me, this is the story, and then you don't have private profiles, and then I get to stalk everyone. No, I'm not even being facetious. Like, I really, like, I'm here for that kind of pride.
I would too. Like, I would enjoy that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. I think there's a lot of layers to this. You're a really jealous person.
I'm going to address the first layer.
Okay, go ahead.
Why do you feel the need to spice it up? Like, you're saying, I want to take it sort of to the next level, but then at the same time, you're like, I'm jealous. I don't want it to change things. So what's lacking? Is it, like, I would figure out what's lacking. Where is this desire coming from? Because
I think
there's a good way to make that. I think that threesomes can be healthy if both people are secure enough.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually sound like that to me.
I think she's curious because she watches threesome porn and she's into that, and she slept with a girl and she could be into that sexually. I think
he ain't gonna say no.
And I think it's curiosity, and I think it turns you on, and it's curiosity.
Okay.
And I think I think the issue with that there is that makes total sense why you're like, but what if when it happens, I'm not into it? That makes complete sense.
Probably would happen, most likely.
I think
unless it's the right person. That's the other thing is like, there's this weird thing. I can't speak from experience because I've never been in this specific situation of like, hey, I want to spice a relationship. How do we bring someone else into this? But from what I hear, and I know a lot of people that have, there is something to the right person. Like, it's not just going to be some random person. Like, you have to find the person that you are not threatened by, you're both attracted to. And so I've talked to a lot of my friends who have been in this specific situation. And there were moments where they're like, this is the moment, or this is the person, or this is like, it wasn't too difficult to make happen.
Yeah, maybe you haven't met the girl that you want to bring into your relationship for that. But I think what you need to do is I think you need to like take, no offense to your boyfriend, take his desires and him wanting to do this out of the picture and weigh side by side your sexual attraction and like how much of a turn on this is for you and how sexually satisfying this could be for you and how much your jealousy is. Because if your jealousy outweighs that, if you think about
it's not gonna work.
Then yeah, and that's what I think it is. I think you have to like manage expectations because like in theory maybe when you think about it in theory, like I think it's really hot like watching a guy go down on when you're watching porn, like watching a guy go down on a girl, watching like there be two girls go down on each other, all of that. But like if you picture that is your boyfriend and that is you and another girl, are you into that? Are you into the idea of your boyfriend are you okay with your boyfriend being with this girl as you're there? Or is it the idea of, oh, I would be down to be with a girl and be with my boyfriend, but not them be with each other? Because like you can't really, then you're in a situation where everybody's naked and like, then you're like,
everyone's
let me direct
pleasuring
this scene.
You.
And which my Leo ass is like, fuck yeah. But like, I would never have a threesome for the reason that the other girl would not survive. Like I would kill her, And so I think you need to weigh that. Like, is your jealousy, are you really jealous in, like, is your jealousy in your relationship, or that you refer to yourself as a jealous person? Is that when you feel like threatened by someone, like you're going to be replaced? Is it like a romantic thing? Is it like, is it the idea that you think that you should be jealous in this situation? You might not be. Like, are you jealous when you don't have control, but this you'd have control? Nope. So I think you need to figure that out.
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Are you trying to? No, I'm not asking you. Leo's being like, let me write this down.
Maddie,
like,
jealousy?
I have an idea.
Is anybody jealous? Nope. Super jealous? Nope. Think about what you do. Yep, good. Yep. I'd pass.
I would. Oh my God, I wouldn't be able to do it. But I think I do. I've never had a threesome. I would assume it might change your relationship. From people I know who have had threesomes, I don't know anyone who had a good threesome once and then never had another one. Like, if it was a weird, that no one ended up enjoying it, they only did it once. But if it was an enjoyable thing, it was something that happened more regularly.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that makes you jealous, like the idea that it wouldn't just be like a one-time thing. But I think you need to like, I mean, I'm all for like pleasuring your partner, but I think like in this instance, like, you need to take him out of the picture and figure out what you really want without like his opinions weighing on it.
Maybe spice it up by bringing another guy in.
That was honestly what I like. That was immediately. I was like, just have two dudes.
Yeah.
He might not like that.
Well,
I feel like I would do that. I would do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do.
would. Yeah.
I would. Yeah. I feel like that'd be fun.
Me too.
I also love tension.
I've never pictured that kind of. I've never pictured that kind of tension. That would be weird for me. Being in a room like threesome, me and another guy and a girl. There would be like this macho energy. Like
and
who's gonna be like
that's
the
what
that is what is hot. Is
yeah.
guys fighting over you, and I'm just laying
I'm
there
not
being
fighting,
like,
just fucking swinging dicks, fighting each other. It's like, come here, you.
And a dicks hit each other. That's hot.
I'm wearing
So
a
I'm
crown
fighting.
in my threesome. I'm wearing. I have a throne and a crown and a cape and no
Nothing
clothes.
else.
Have you ever seen an Indian, like a Hindu wedding, or is it an Indian wedding
Yeah,
where they
yeah,
come
yeah.
in on the jewel
That's what
Yes.
I want.
in gold with the
Yeah.
piercings?
I'm gonna go back home and be like, hey babe, I have an idea. And I'd be like, no. But yeah, I think you gotta figure out what you really want in the situation. Also, I will say too, you can be into something porn wise and be really attracted to it and not necessarily be attracted to it as it's like
real life.
Exactly. Because you're also the angles, you're watching stuff happen and you're seeing everything. You're not, when you're doing it yourself, you're not really seeing everything, the big picture. So I would think about it in that sense too. Yeah. And I would also say though, if you're worried about like you mentioned that you've been with a girl before, first of all, you don't have to define your sexuality at any point. I don't like at all.
It's a spectrum.
Yeah.
You might be into sex, but not a relationship.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong. Like nothing wrong with any of it. You don't have to define or anything like that. Don't feel like you need to. But I would also say, I don't think that is an important detail that he needs to know. And he's also like, if you're thinking like, oh my God, well, what if he like watches you with a girl and he's gonna like, she's done this before. He would be on just cloud nine. He's not even thinking about like, wow, she seems good at this. I feel like she's done this before.
How dare you have done this before? Stop what you're doing.
Also, if I told Motts that I had slept with a girl, he'd be like, "What? You did?" Like in like the happiest, most excited way in the entire world. Like, he'd be like, will you? Like he makes a cup of tea. Will you tell me the story? Will you tell me?
So
Every night it's a bedtime story. Like,
Motts, open your eyes. No, they're not open. I'm not closing my eyes.
His eyes. Yeah, it would literally be.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah, 100%.
Slower this time.
So I wouldn't be worried about it on your end.
No, I wouldn't either. I mean, I don't want to sum your boyfriend up into a category, but I think he'd be okay.
He'd be
with
totally okay with it.
All pictures.
That's literally
about
99% of Motts' like would you rather's. It would be like ends up with me being with a girl. I'm like, babe, no.
Yeah,
and I'm like, do you want me to break up with you
Why is
and
that?
be with a girl instead? He's like, no, I'm just.
I try to think about that often. Like, why is it so attractive as like for me, a hetero guy to watch
Two girls go at it?
Why? Because I mean, if you break it down to, I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be something that is that attractive.
More girls are more girls. Do you know what I mean? Like,
is it the primal thing of like more women, more power?
I think
is
so.
It like
and also,
that
like,
kind of...
do you want to watch if you're defining yourself as like an incredibly heterosexual man, like the guy in the picture, like if you're watching porn, you're not like, wow, that guy, like look at those biceps, like those are great. Like you're paying attention to the girl.
You don't know me.
No, but I'm saying if the argument is as like a heterosexual like man who's not attracted to men. Or is not aroused by men in general. Like in porn, you're then paying attention to the women. So then more women is more women, you know?
I mean, more women is always better.
Exactly. There you go. But also like girls can get off, girls who define themselves as being heterosexual can also get off on girls because you're watching girls get off, which is a hot thing because you are also a girl. I think that's typically.
Sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
that doesn't. I mean, for me, the other way around doesn't translate.
Like watching two guys going at it.
Watching guys get off does not be like, because I could be that guy. That's not. It's not. It doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. You're thinking about like the girl.
Yeah. According to this article from The Atlantic, men or straight men are into lesbian porn because they're aroused by visual cues that emphasize youth and downplay drama and emotional complexity. Lesbian porn therefore works for straight men by doubling up those visual stimuli.
I'm sorry, one more time for the class. No. I need that one more time. Okay, again.
All right. But to the extent that lesbian erotica is popular, it can be explained by the fact that men are most aroused by visual cues that emphasize youth and downplay drama and emotional complexity. Lesbian porn, therefore, works for straight men by doubling up those visual stimuli.
I get it. It's like, ooh, scary. It's like relationship.
Speaking.
Yeah. Impregnation.
Too much. I can't. My brain. Just show me more boobs.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, she likes me. She wants a relationship. How do I tell her that I want to still back off?
Less words, more boobs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
not
funny.
No. That's not no.
That's so funny.
That's wild.
That is.
That was
really
I'm really glad you brought out that article.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
That was
I'll
wonderful.
put it in the show notes.
Good deal.
Wow. Men are simple creatures.
Moral. It blows me away every day. I just walk down the street. I go, I am so simple. I mean, it's so.
I feel like you said that in the last podcast.
But I mean,
I'm so
that bliss
easy.
is amazing.
You give me any fucking attention, and I go, oh yeah, attention, great.
Men are golden
You like
retrievers.
me? Yeah,
You're a golden retriever.
I am absolutely a Labrador, a golden retriever.
Like
Fucking
Mr. Peanut
looks at me,
Butter.
unattractive. Looks at me as I walk by. Fuck yeah, I feel good. Wow, I'm happy now. This is great. It's easy. I'm so uncomplex.
That's so funny. Oh, I love it.
Women are like, ugh, don't look at me.
Literally.
No, but I would be the
Don't
same way. I went to I went to a gay bar for the first time in my life a couple weeks ago. It was called Flaming Saddles in West Hollywood.
I feel like
And
you'd be
I
a hot piece of
understood-
meat in there.
I understood exactly. I understood. You're gonna jump on me for saying that, but
Well, no, you just caught yourself.
Well, but I
got a
totally
taste of-
empathized with the idea of a woman walking into a bar with a bunch of guys and everyone goes whoom and looks at her, and I was like, this is fucking uncomfortable. I don't like this at all. So
Well, no, I think it's a great.
It's not good.
But that you can recognize that because there are so many like straight dudes who they're like, well, I don't want you guys looking at me, but then in return don't think that that's anything like women because it's like, but women are into my dick, but like they're into me.
Yeah.
But like, no, you're.
Yeah, my mom. I was talking about this with my mom a while back. She's like, "Do you understand what it's like to when you smile at someone? Guys take that as like you want to fuck me."
It's like I took
She's
my
like,
pants
so,
down
because
and
I was
was
trying
like,
to ask
fuck
her.
me?
Yeah, because I was trying to ask her why she was standoffish to a lot of people. My mom was just a really standoffish person, very strong woman, like awesome.
I love her.
But she's just got a wall up, right? And I was trying to figure out why, and she's like, "You don't understand." You don't understand, dude. And I was like, wow, that makes sense. I mean, I get it. She's like, anytime. I even make eye contact with the guy. He's like, oh, yeah, hey, how you doing?
It's an invitation. It's an IOU. It's like, oh, I've looked at you,
So I try to
therefore
do the
I owe
opposite
you.
thing. Like, I try to not look at girls.
Yeah,
It's
good.
funny. If I was flirting, like, I would not look at you.
Yep.
And then, like, maybe I'd say one thing and you know
And
what I
then
mean?
just
Like, totally
leave.
the opposite. And just leave.
Yeah.
It's like,
But you're
it's
also-
also an experiment. I try to do that sometimes. So I'm like, if I just walk away right now, mid conversation, what is that going to do to you? And I just walk away. And
This
then
is
later
you
on in the night,
dropping
they
your
come
bombs.
on.
Yeah. He
Later-
knows.
later
He
they
knows
come,
how to
hey,
work
how's
them.
it going? I
Yeah.
go, oh, hey,
Yeah.
Leo. Oh, we met.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Now it's time for Don't Blame Them. And this is where listeners call in and give their own advice and experience with calls that we've had. So if someone called and was like, hey, I had a threesome, this is blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
So people are giving their own advice.
All right, so this is from episode 315. It was an episode.
Fuck off, dude. I can't wait.
Oh my gosh, it was an episode with me and Megan. So this guy, he's separated from his husband and he started dating someone else, and the other guy was standoffish. Not really wanting
The
to
other
commit.
guy-
the guy that
he was
he's
dating.
dating,
Okay.
wasn't ready to commit. And so this is someone calling in with similar experience.
Okay, hi. I am 23 years old. I am calling in response to the latest episode with Melissa about the guy who is separated and he's seeing somebody else, and that other guy is telling him that he's not ready for anything serious. Okay, so I was kind of in the same situation, except I was not the caller. I was the guy he was talking about, and I started seeing my current boyfriend. And I kept telling him, like, I'm not ready for anything serious. I'm not ready for anything serious. But, like, I just got so wrapped up in my emotions and, like, my feelings about him that I kind of was just like, oh, well, like, it can't be that bad, you know? And, like, I hate to say that I'm regretting it, but, like, I am in the process of, like, trying to break up with him because, like, I wasn't ready for something serious and I really shouldn't have agreed to something, and I should have just stuck to my guns. And so, like, it really sucks knowing that, like, I'm gonna hurt him, and, like, there's really no other reason I'm breaking up with him other than just, like, I just don't want to be in a relationship. And so, like, I think maybe I would say just like save yourself from the heartbreak, because like if he says that he's not ready, like he's not ready, and like I think that should just be respected. And like as much as it sucks for you, like there are so many people out there to be with, and like there's so many other options, and like you are getting separated, like maybe it's just time to take some time for yourself. So that's all I have to say about that. I'm so sorry. I probably sound like a total asshole, but like, you know, I've heard somebody say this before, like if somebody shows you who they really are, like just trust them. And like I should have trusted myself, and like I should have just respected my own boundaries. And so I think that maybe you should show him the same respect, and if he's not ready, he's not ready. And I think it's maybe just time to move on. So that's all on that. Have a great day. Love you guys. Goodbye.
I really fucking hope your boyfriend does not listen to this podcast. Not that he would, but like, damn girl. Maybe, not that I'm judging you, but maybe you should have called after you broke up. Wow, that just gave me like anxiety though.
Whatever. We all do stupid stuff.
100%.
You know.
She called
a
month ago. So
did you guys break up?
They're probably done.
No,
Maybe
but I think it's a valid. I think it totally. Yeah, it's a completely valid point.
You can't trust that saying. I'm not ready for a relationship. You can't trust it, because I don't buy that. I'm not ready for a relationship, because that's not a legitimate reason. I figure out exactly what you're feeling, because I feel as if that is a blanket statement that takes care of a lot of things, and people just use that as a statement.
Yeah,
just as a precursor.
Or people just don't want to figure out what they're feeling, so they say, I'm not ready for a relationship.
Or they know and they're just not cluing the other person in.
Or how about this? Hey, I don't want a relationship because I like having sex with other people, or I like dating
100%.
right now,
or I'm focusing on my career right now
to want to be with you.
But I also think that like if you don't want a relationship, it doesn't matter how great like the person is, because you don't want a relationship for exactly what you're saying. There's a reason. Like it's you enjoy sleeping around.
People say that, but then you know, they get to know the person and it's totally changed. So I think that
I mean
my parents, my mom said, I do not want to date you. I'm not attracted to you, and my dad.
But that's different. Being attracted and like persistence and all that. Because like when Mats and I first started dating, I really wasn't sure if I was into him, but he was so persistent that like over the course of him being persistent, I was like, no, I think I really am into you. But I think when it comes to, you're right in the sense that like the idea, like I'm not ready for a relationship, I don't think it's a fair statement to make, because it does encompass a bunch of things. And also if you say that to somebody, immediately what like a lot of people's reactions are is like, I can show you differently. But if what you're saying is, I'm not ready for a relationship right now, I'm really focusing on my work and I'm going to be working really late, and I also don't have a desire to have a relationship right now. I don't have the desire
to pursue it and make the time for it.
Yeah, then it's like, oh, okay, then there's nothing I can do to change that. Or being like, I like to sleep with multiple people, or like anything about that, like I think you're right in the sense people need to be more specific what that is, because we think that we can change that.
We're in such a non-committal area. LA blows me away with dating, where that becomes a norm of saying, I'm not ready for a relationship. You say it purely to let the other person know that you're not that into them. You're into them enough to want to have sex with them and sleep with them, but then you don't want to pursue it any farther. So you say that, and then you keep dating until you find someone that it changes. But LA is a specifically weird place for that.
This person, I won't say specifically where they are based on their area code, but they're in the South.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm just saying that's common out here. I'm not saying she is, but
I think it's also like I've said before, like, no, I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm not looking for a relationship. And I said that when people would ask me out, not on a date. Like I wouldn't say that on a date because I'm like, no, I'm actively not dating because I'm not ready for that. But then I think there's also, I think a lot of people have a really hard time with the judgment of being like, I'm just looking for something casual, which is like, I'm just looking to have sex. And I think like that should be an okay statement to make, because theme of the episode, managing expectations. Like that's the whole thing. It's you don't want to say that to therefore like have someone like not be into you, but I'm like, but you're gonna do that anyway. And if there's a risk that they're not gonna be into it, like just not telling them doesn't mean that that's not gonna. You're just not letting them know what they're in for.
I understand that we weren't supposed to give advice on that, but I'm gonna give one.
We always do.
I realize also that my opinion of that is based on myself, which is even though when I was single, when I would casually date and be, hooking up with people, I would not do it with multiple people at once. That's not really how my brain works. Like I was very systematic. Like I would not be able to go 2 or 3 girls at one time. Like I would have to go, okay, this is not going to go any farther. I would have to move on. That's just how my brain works.
And then you'd have to end it with them in a very nice way, and then they wouldn't hate you.
Yeah.
It was time.
Oh,
it was
you remember that shit,
I remember it. I remember
Megan,
the time.
Look, how do I do this?
Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Leo, thanks for being on.
I appreciate you guys having me on. I really, really enjoy doing this podcast.
We love having you on.
We do love. Come on, all the time, whenever you want.
I do want to do this again. I want to be I want to get a plaque. That
you want a
says
plaque?
That don't blame me most.
What if it's a sash?
Hated.
Like a podcast
podcasty.
And then you have to wear it every time.
Podcasty?
A podcasty?
Would you be a podcasty?
I'm a podcaster. Oh yeah, podcaster, podcasty. Sure.
Or I'm the podcaster too.
But I think the podcasty would be the one that's listening. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Write in and tell us.
Yeah. So where can people follow you? Who is Leo?
I've canceled all of my social medias. I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't believe it. It's all a facade. It's the government. Okay, it's the Illuminati coming down to tell us how we have to be.
So Leo's not going to plug his stuff.
I have an Instagram.
I never remember which one's which.
Yeah, it's not that interesting.
No,
I
but
post
which one
stuff that I like. Who is Leo is my Instagram.
And then I am.
Yeah, but I don't use Twitter.
You don't tweet anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
I did like that ironic thing, but you didn't do it on purpose.
I don't want in 10 years to go down the road. Someone's like, you said some fucked up shit.
Yeah,
like, yeah, of course I did because I'm done. But that's why I do say it. I say it all the time, which is why I wanted to do a podcast myself, but I said no way because if I do a podcast, especially if it's me just rambling and I'm in control of rambling, horrible things.
No, straight white guys shouldn't have microphones without anybody else like
editing
watching
them.
Yeah.
I disagree with you.
No, everybody needs like that female friend to be like, whoo, I feel like no.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Agreed.
I think you have a great podcast though. You and Melvin can start one.
Ooh, no. That would be bad. Can you imagine?
That would be the most interesting podcast though. I feel like you guys would be number one.
I think you would.
Thing. I know so many people that are so interesting. I was like, I want to do it. Yeah. But then part of me is just like,
yeah,
I just come in.
That's true. Yeah, just be a regular fixture on ours.
Yeah.
Anything else you want people to plug? Do you know Freakish is now on iTunes?
I did know that actually.
So you have to pay for it?
Yeah.
Instead of just watching it on
No, guys, I'm not gonna plug my own stuff. I just want everyone to be encouraged to live a good life.
Shut the fuck up.
Feel good about you. And I get everyone rolling their eyes. I don't know why. It's a good message. Everyone in this whole room is rolling their eyes like they don't fucking like happiness.
Oh God.
There's gonna be one girl who's watching who's really earnest and doesn't know that like we're friends. And they're like, they're so mean to that boy.
Leo. Like, but
he's
Leo's
so
kind of an idiot.
sweet, and they're so mean to him.
No,
he just wants us to live a happy life.
I do. I do want everyone to live a happy life. I do want people to be happy.
If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave us a review on the podcast app. And if you are watching it, go listen to it. And if you are listening to it, go watch it. It's on YouTube too. And if you guys want to be a part of an upcoming episode, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. And if you're an international listener, you can leave us an audio message. Email it to us at meganpodcast@gmail.com. Our socials will be listed down below too. And if you guys aren't subscribed to us on Stitcher yet, guys, we do bonus eps, and they're a good time.
They're so good.
We just debunked a bunch of myths about penises, or maybe we recorded it. So who knows when that will be up.
It'll be up after this one.
Yeah. So if you guys want to hear some penis myths, one of them involves breaking dicks. That's all I'm going to say.
Which we've talked about.
We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we figured out what positions break dicks most often.
Oof.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to be a part of that conversation.
Woof.
Right.
Woof. 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 Okay, we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Own iconic luxury items at unreal values with The RealReal, the leading reseller of authenticated luxury from top designers at up to 90% off retail. Every item is authenticated by The RealReal's team of experts, and new arrivals come in daily. New customers receive an automatic $25 off at checkout. Shop in-store, online, or download the app and get 20% off select items with the promo code REAL. TheRealReal.com, promo code REAL. Don't Blame Me is a production by me. Executive produced by Melissa DeMonts. Camera operator Amanda Lechner. Production assistance by Julie Carley, and music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso, part of the HerPod Network.